Welcome back, everyone, to the Suture Stuff Podcast, part of the Finish First Media Network team. My name is Austin, co-host number 1, joined today by co-host number 2,
Brandon.
We'd like to welcome everyone back today. Today is Wednesday, October 21st, the year 2020, the year of terrible. Brandon, are you doing well today?
Well enough. Had some projects, got those done, so it's been a good day today.
I'm glad to hear that.
Got a nice cut.
Oh, show them your good side. I did want to ask today, what is your favorite poem?
I'm not big on poetry, but I'd say Poem 31 by Sappho is a pretty good one.
All right.
As well as Poem 16.
Excellent. I'd tell you to look it up, but I don't respect poetry, so don't.
Well, do you have a single favorite poem?
No, I don't appreciate poetry in the slightest.
Fair enough.
I think it's a waste of time and not an art. But that being said, now that my ignorance is on full display, we will go ahead. We will go ahead and jump straight into today's show. We are going to do a preview show for the Week 7 action in the NFL. This is a very exciting show, something I enjoy doing. We are going to preview the games. Brandon is also going to read us the lines, and we are going to incorrectly try to guess them. I would love to bet on some games this weekend, but I have bled my betting account dry, and as a responsible citizen who does not enjoy being in debt, I will not reload it for the foreseeable future.
Just to let everybody know, I am in the positive this year for football, so we aren't completely clueless.
Well, I am. I am negative, and I have not.
Yours are just because you try to do the 15-team parlay to turn
and
$5
because I
into
make
$1,000.
bets, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to also make note that I have not won a single week in DFS, and I have played probably like 10 contests, even mostly 50-50s, and I still can't win. So
that's all right.
It's probably all you need to know about my fantasy advice. That being said, we're going to jump straight into the previews for this week, starting off with a matchup that I'm honestly kind of enticed by for no real reason.
Whoever wins this game is going to at least have a tie for the division.
Wow.
Maybe even a lead.
Giants-Eagles. That is our beginning. That is our first game of the week.
I'm not too enticed. I guess I wouldn't be under normal situations, but with Miles Sanders out, that changes a lot. However, I still think the Eagles will win this one easily.
Yeah, Miles Sanders, he is just one of the multitude of people who's going to be out.
It's probably easier to read who is healthy versus who isn't on the Eagles.
Yeah, Zach Ertz also out this week. Dallas Goedert, I believe, is still going to be out. I think he's on. I believe he's on IR, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's an interesting team. As always, the Eagles are always hurt. Deshaun Jackson is not playing. Are you seeing anybody on the Eagles side that you like?
No, not really. I guess I like Travis Fulgham this week. He's had 2 weeks in a row with 6 or more catches, and he's
double-digit points 3 weeks ago, even as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's been double-digit in half PPR, let alone full PPR for 3 weeks straight. And you might say 3 weeks, so what? He's only played 3 NFL games, and he's 3 for 3. So he's a guy I like, and I think he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I also think he benefits from them having literally nobody. And with Miles Sanders gone, and with Zach Ertz gone, those targets are just going to go up, I assume. So I think he's going to have a big game this week, and I own him in a league, and I'm starting him absolutely. If I own him in all my leagues, I'd start him in every league.
I still can't believe that I was somehow able to get him in a dynasty league off waivers.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
That's I think I kept it under 50% too, which was even more weird. At least I think it's more weird. But how are you expecting Carson Wentz to look this game?
Fine. Not great, but not bad. I could see a 250 with 2 touchdowns and 2 turnovers.
Are you intrigued at all by Boston Scott?
Yes.
With the absence of Miles Sanders.
In the sense where he does most of his work in the receiving game.
Even with Miles Sanders only receiving 9 carries last week.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're getting blown out by a good team. The Giants are not a good team, and they are not capable of blowing a team out because they're probably capable of putting up 15 to 18 points a week at best. So there's no way that the Eagles are ever going to be getting blown out.
Is he worth a flex?
In certain situations, yeah. I think that in a full PPR, he could get you 10 points this week pretty easily.
Essentially, the only people we're really caring about, I do think, believe it or not, and I hate to say this, former Packer great, I think Richard Rodgers might be an okay play, given how much they use the tight ends. Well, I'm just saying both Ertz and Goddard are out.
Yeah.
So I think if you're desperate at tight end, you actually could probably do a lot worse.
It's funny. The 3 viable players are a backup running back. A guy signed off the practice squad 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Richard Rodgers are the 3 guys we're intrigued by. Speaking of that, the Giants.
Deshaun Jackson, he's never going to play.
Yeah, the Giants, I'm not excited about anybody. Maybe Sterling Shepard in his return. If
Slayton is always worth a throw in there, and then Evan Ingram, depending on how you're feeling at tight end. But yeah,
I'm not feeling it.
I'm with you. I think that the running situation is going to be flex worthy.
Yeah,
Devontae Freeman, but
we've spent too much time on this irrelevant game. The line. Guess the line.
Well, here's what I just wanted to say about this game. This is the game that every time I say, "Oh, the Eagles are going to win this easy," and this is going to be a back and forth game where the Eagles probably win on a field goal, and I'm left sitting there thinking, "How are the Eagles this bad?"
That's every week.
I just wanted to throw that out there. I think the Eagles are going to win this one. I bet the line's 2.5.
4.5. That's disrespectful to the Giants. That shows how bad the Giants are. Granted, they're missing their running back too, but I'm still.
Freeman's a little better than Boston Scott. Evan Ingram's a little better than Richard Rodgers. Darius Slayton. And
I'm still taking the Eagles. I have no confidence in Daniel Jones. 0.
I'm taking Eagles would win straight up, but I think the Giants cover that.
Fair enough. Speaking of strange games, the Lions and the Falcons, 2 teams that are arguably better than the record. 2-3 Lions against the 1-5 Falcons.
Are we still saying that?
I think so, but
oh boy,
I said arguably. I didn't say. So I didn't say that like legitimately. This is a tough one, but for people I do like DeAndre Swift. I think he's been in full PPR 10 points every week but one. He's been a really, really sneaky play where you don't think he's good. But
even not getting the majority of the carries.
And he hasn't been getting a lot of carries. He's been very solid for the role he's been given, and I only see that expanding after last week. Obviously, we have Kenny Galladay.
But he should look a little better, too. I think he's going to get healthier every single week he's back.
And not only that,
which is good news for him.
He's really the only running or receiver you want. I'd even say start Matt Stafford this week. I have him in a couple leagues, which you might say, what are you doing with him? He's playing the Falcons, who are ranked number 31 against the pass this year. So if you need a quarterback on a bye week, I think he's a really good replacement considering the Falcons can't stop a nosebleed. TJ Hawkinson, another guy, he's the number 10 tight end. I mean, he
gets in the end zone work that he's worth a toss in there.
He's worth a start on most teams, and they at least look his way. Like, he doesn't always get a lot of catches, but they look his way a lot, especially in the red zone. Falcons, obviously Ridley, obviously Julio, even Gurley, even though I'm not big on him. Maybe Gage.
I think Russell Gage every week is he's a good throw in the flex if you're a desperate option.
And if you're really desperate, I'd say Hayden Hurst because he's either going to give you 1 point or 10. You just don't know.
Yeah, I've had to roll with him a couple times. It doesn't ever feel good.
He's combined for 1.8 points the 2 weeks I've played him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very...
No, I'm sorry. No, that was Mike Gesicki. I lied.
It's funny. I wanted to call him boom or bust, but the boom is... if 13's a boom, then
it's like a pop or bust. It's a little pop. It's not a boom.
Yeah, it's not a... But, I mean, for tight ends, I mean, they've been so up and down this year. It's been kind of crazy outside of, like, the top couple.
I see another big game for Matt Ryan, and I see the Falcons winning this one.
Boy.
I say that at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions did. This was kind of a 50-50 for me, but after the showing we saw from the Falcons
I would not
week,
bet this one, but I'm going to say the Falcons are going to win, but I'm going to say, where's this game at?
This game is in Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm going to say, I kind of want to say they're not favorited, but I'm going to say Falcons 1.5.
Falcons 2.5.
Okay.
I'm probably taking the Falcons.
I'm almost surprised they're the favorites.
I am and I'm not, because last week was actually a good performance by them. Like a really good performance.
Because the head coach is gone?
Probably.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Because last week they put up 40 points. Like, I don't see this Lions team capable of doing that.
I think this is going to be at least a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when you have two capable offenses playing bad defenses, that's what you get.
I honestly wish this was the Thursday night game. I think this one would be a fun one.
I think you're going to be oddly surprised by how entertaining tomorrow's game is.
It probably will be. I guess
maybe not for good reasons, but
this is tough because I'm looking here. The Lions put up 34 last week. Oh,
I mean, both teams can score. Oh,
you know what? I'm putting the Lions. I'm picking the Lions. Well, yeah, they've had no trouble scoring, and they're playing the worst defense. So I'm picking the Lions in this one.
All right. I don't necessarily
free
agree with
DeAndre Swift, and I don't own him in any leagues, but free him because he looked really nice last week.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Atlanta 2.5. I'm taking the Lions on that one. How about you?
I just told you I'm taking the Falcons
Okay.
with the points. I think I told you.
That's going to be an interesting game. Speaking of interesting games,
Oh.
the next one is not.
What
we
a
have
segue.
the Cleveland Browns against the the Cincinnati Bengals.
I disagree. I think this is going to be a very good game.
It shouldn't be, but it might be, if that makes sense.
I mean, I just think that this is going to be an intriguing game personally.
I think this is a bounce back for the Browns. Because if we look at the Bengals, no matter what they do, they can't win. Like, they keep getting close, but they just can't do it. And at least the Browns are able to sometimes win, which I know is a very weak argument in favor of them. Be like, yeah, these guys don't completely suck. But I think the defense of the Bengals is so bad that they'll be able to establish the run a lot better than they were against the Steelers. And they're not going to get blown out. The problem with the Browns last week was they had to abandon the run. That's their identity. They had to get rid of that. The Bengals are not good enough to take that away from them.
I think that this is a good OBJ game.
Define good.
Well, I think this is a start your OBJ. I think it's kind of getting to a predictable point when you can start OBJ. Like when they're getting to Baker and when the defense is good, I would say that's a sit OBJ. I don't think they're going to have any. The Bengals aren't going to be able to stop him. So
ranks number 17 in full PPR, and that is with his 39-point game.
I have a league where I'm deep. I'm like very, very deep at wide receiver, where I probably still won't start him because he's burned me so many times. But I think he's a start this week.
He's in my opinion, he's a should start, but not must start. If that makes sense.
I think this week he's a must start.
Well, like for you, for instance, you're not starting him.
But most people aren't running.
But I mean, if you were like truly like a must start, you'd start him in every single situation.
I'm just saying, I have a god tier wide receiving group in a dynasty league.
I'd say in most cases start him. What about Jarvis? What do you think about him?
Jarvis and both Jarvis and Baker were limited in practice to begin the week, so I think they're both banged up. Jarvis at this point has shown nothing. I don't think he's even had a double-digit game yet. Maybe the game he had a passing touchdown. I don't remember, but
we're also talking full PPR. He averages 10.2 in full PPR.
Fine, in full PPR. Half PPR, he doesn't do anything. I think he is probably.
I'd say it's a start this week.
Hips and ribs is why he was listed. Yeah, I think that he might. If he doesn't work this week, I mean,
his usefulness is numbered.
Yeah, I think he's a flex. I would not feel good.
I could see this one being like a 40 to 35.
I keep starting him every week, thinking he's going to bounce.
Cleveland is favored by 3, and I'm still taking Cleveland.
It is worth noting that Joe Mixon, he did not practice on Wednesday with the foot injury.
Oh shoot, his owner's going to miss out on those 5 points.
So if he doesn't play, Giovanni Bernard might not be a half bad ad.
If you're desperate, with them.
Well, my team is so desperate, I might actually have to add him in our league.
This is going to be a strange game too, because what happens? Let's say hypothetically, if AJ Green has another solid outing, would he go into? Would he go into the like, hey, maybe we should play this guy now?
See, I don't really think so because, I mean, it's the Bengals. He hasn't done it against anybody good. I mean, what's a good game for him? 100 yards? Like,
I mean, he had 18 points last week.
If it's still
without a touchdown.
I want to see it again.
No, yeah, I said if he has another good game this week, would he turn into a?
He's almost like, oh, I can pick him off the waivers now, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'd pick him up if he did well this week, or I'd think he'd be okay, but I still would be nervous about him. He hasn't done it against anybody good.
Who do you have more faith in, AJ Green or T.Y. Hilton?
Probably T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton does average, actually, 7.3, and it's 7. He averages 0.1 more points per game.
I mean, I don't trust either quarterback, but the Colts are a better team. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Plus, there are a lot of better receivers on.
That was a lose-lose.
AJ
question.
Green's probably the third best receiver on that team. Where
second or third, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
still T.Y. He's been playing like a second. Too much time on this. The Cleveland by 3. I'm taking Cleveland. What about you?
That's the line?
Yeah.
That I was supposed to guess?
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Oh, tough scene. I'm going to take the line's 3.
3.
I'm taking
2, 1.
Browns are going to win. I think Bengals will cover.
Oh, you think it's a real close game?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of potential,
the
Browns
aren't blowing anybody out.
Steelers Titans.
They already did.
Clash of the 5 and 5s.
I think this is a game of two. I don't want to call them overrated teams, but like Pittsburgh hasn't beat a single good team.
I still don't think Pittsburgh's that great.
I think they're good, but they haven't had a test. I think that they're going to.
This is their first one, obviously. Where at least the Titans had like the
I'm
Bills.
upset about the Titans because they're winning every game by less than 5 points. So
They're still doing it, though.
I just don't know how I feel about either team.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Pittsburgh beat the Giants by like 10. The Broncos without Drew Luck by 5. Like, it's not like they're out here stomping on bad teams either, though.
No, I totally get it. I think this is going to be a good, well, maybe a tempered game for James Conner. I think this is going to be a more low-scoring game. I'd probably bet an under on this one.
The over-under is 50.5.
This might be a good under game. I think both defenses are.
With that being said, the score is projected to be 25-26.
I think both teams are relatively solid defensively, especially the Steelers. They just still give up points. But
I like the Titans a lot more in this game.
is this a good game for Roethlisberger or no? He was projected quite a bit last week, and I think dropped a 10 or 11-point game, or maybe.
I don't think it's a good one. I wouldn't say it's a horrible one, but it's not a good one.
Would you? You're in my shoes. Would you play Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger this week? I believe Cam plays a good.
Those are two guys I don't have much faith in at all. They're two guys who could easily drop a 10-point game on you, which would hurt.
Cam is usually pretty solid.
I'd still take Cam.
He plays Niners this week.
No, I'm still taking him.
Which their defense looked a lot better.
I'm also one of those people, though, who has zero faith in the Steelers.
Stellars.
Deontay Johnson is supposed to be back this week, though.
Yeah, I think this hurts James Washington a lot.
James Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you meant.
Yeah, I was for some reason thinking he had a concussion. It said he missed last week with a back injury.
Yeah, he had a concussion, then he hurt his back in the game.
Okay. So he got 2 and okay.
Yeah. Or he had a concussion the week before, returned, got hurt with a back injury early on, and then started the game.
Corey Davis has been activated from the COVID list. Clowney did not participate. And Jonnu Smith was limited.
I think this is going to be a big game for Ryan Tannehill as well, even though the defense is good. Because they're going to have to lean on him more with how good the rush is.
I think they're going to run. Yeah, but they have good corners. Minka Fitzpatrick?
It's a test for both of them. Right now the line is Tennessee by 1. I'm taking that. Just because I think Tennessee will win.
Ooh.
I guess one question. Are you starting Juju Smith-Schuster this week? In most scenarios.
Honestly, I think he's the number 3 at this point. I would rather have Deontay and Claypool.
Okay.
I think both those guys are good starts. Juju's more of a flex to me. I'll say that, and he'll be the only one with any yards this week.
Probably.
But I think I'm still going to go Stellars.
Stellars? All right.
I don't think either team is like, there are a lot of teams that are 5-0 that you're like, oh, man, what a juggernaut. And I just don't see that with either, And
one thing I like
there aren't that many good teams this year. So
the one thing I like about the Titans, I like guys like Tannehill, but Derrick Henry, sorry, I blanked on his name. When he gets in a groove, defense doesn't really matter, if that makes sense. Like, when he's going, like, if he can't be stopped, he can't be stopped. But
that doesn't always happen.
No, I know it doesn't. But the Steelers don't have that at all. So at least you have the chance at having him go out there and just destroy a defense, where the Steelers don't, like, are people really that scared of James Cameron?
Connor.
He's
Connor. Connor's pretty good. I mean, I know.
No, he is. Don't get me wrong, but he isn't like. I don't view him as a guy who will take over a game. Like I think
I just think it's going to be a little lower scoring because I think it's going to be a lot of running.
It probably will. Moving on, Panthers 3-3 versus Saints 2-2.
I think this
line is very disrespectful, might I add.
This is the battle of what I'm going to call the bad quarterbacks. I think the Saints are going to win. Michael Thomas is going to be back this week.
Michael Thomas is supposed to be back,
assuming he does not fight anyone again.
Punch another person in the face.
I really think, again, it's not me saying Drew Brees sucks, but like, he's just not a game.
It ain't it.
He's not a game winner.
It's not it. No. And again, we don't blame him. He's 39 years old. How can you blame him for lacking arm strength at this point? It's a given. That being said, I am getting a little bothered by everyone acting like he's the second coming of the crisis season, which he really has not been great.
Yeah. I don't think he's that good of a start this week. I mean, I don't know if anybody's even starting him anyway. But I don't know. It's going to be the normal people. Start Michael Thomas. Start
Alvin Kamara, obviously.
Do you like a tight end in this game at all?
Maybe Cook. Maybe. But again, it's just because tight ends are just weak play and Cook has potential.
Mm-hmm.
He's a boomer bust. I'd rather play a safe guy, but if you need or if you're expecting to need points, I'd play Cook over a guy like TJ Hawkinson. Like Hawkinson, he's probably good for around 8 to 10. Whereas Cook could eat, there's a chance he can give you that 20-point game in there. So if you are expecting to need points, I'd say go with Jared Cook.
Are DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson the only wide receivers that you were starting on the Panthers?
Yeah.
Okay. It's and just in case anybody didn't know, Christian McCaffrey is not coming back this week.
Of course he's not.
David Montgomery, I do not expect a big week out of him. Oh,
David Montgomery.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. That is my bad, everyone.
Teddy Bridgewater, I'm not expecting a big game out of him.
I'm expecting Saints. I'm going to say Saints by 3.5. You said it's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. Much more disrespectful than that.
Well, I'd say if that was the line, I'd take Saints in the points. But what do you?
It's Saints by 7.5.
Ooh.
They really don't like the Panthers.
Saints win. I think Panthers cover. If it was 6.5, I'd take the Saints.
I'm still taking the Saints because
last week I don't like to touch over a touchdown.
I won a good amount of money betting against Teddy Bridgewater last week, and I still have no faith in him. It's just the Saints simply have weapons that they don't. Breeze and Bridgewater. Breeze is probably a little better. If you look at the running backs, Kamara is easily better. If you look at the receivers, Mike Thomas should be significantly better than Robbie Anderson. They just in the defense and the Saints is
They're
better
kind
too.
of different players, but it depends too. I mean, I would say that the trio, Panthers have better skill players up top to bottom. I guess maybe not in the running back with McCaffrey out, but Mike Davis is good, and the receiving core is a lot better, I think, on the Panthers.
But the Saints defense is significantly better too. So
no, I don't disagree. I don't think the Panthers.
I still think the Saints are going to cover the line.
I don't.
Oh my word! I'm looking at this now. The next game, Cowboys Washington.
How many divisional games does people
Far
play?
too many.
This game is going to be awful.
It's just another easy, or should be, easy win for the Cowboys.
Well, you say another one like they have more than 2 wins.
Well, fine, but
Cowboys side of the ball, I would imagine Zeke does not fumble this week.
Well, he's.
I think Chase Young's back. He's going to make things a little weird.
I don't even want to talk about this one. Like Terry McLaurin, obviously. J.D. McKissick, I like better than Antonio Brown. Jeez. I can't think of his name. Running back on Antonio Gibson. I like him better than Antonio Gibson. I think J.D. McKissick's going to be the guy from here on out. Other than that, I don't care about Washington.
Oh.
And for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, and maybe Amari. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. It's just two sorry franchises right now.
Oh.
And just in a sorry division.
So are the only players that you want to start Amari and CeeDee, you said? That's
and
it?
Zeke, obviously.
And Zeke, that nobody else? Dalton Schultz?
No.
Ooh, no. I think Dalton Schultz might be an okay play.
He might be, but...
On the Washington side of the ball, are you trusting anyone? This could be a good Logan Thomas game just because of how many points the...
I say Terry McLaurin and J.D. McKissick are the two guys I like this week.
Ooh, no Logan Thomas.
I mean, maybe...
Is Kyle Allen with her start?
No.
Okay. No. I'm kind of getting to the point where anybody who plays the Cowboys is probably a good start.
Right when I said no, I'm like, but he is playing the Cowboys. So I guess if you're desperate, Kyle Allen will probably have the best game of his season this week.
I'm legitimately at the point where I don't know if the Cowboys are any better than Washington. I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'm going to say the Cowboys are 2.5.
Cowboys by 1. Taking Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys, but I wouldn't want to put money on this one.
No, I'm getting so tired of that division. It's literally just a bunch of bums.
Yeah, it is. I think somebody did the math, and I think somebody can win that division with 4 wins. If everything,
it's possible.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to say I'm cheering for that, but I'm kind of cheering for that.
I'm at the point too. If they were, let's say the Cowboys were to win the division with 6 wins, they've got to do something to change that.
Imagine if a team won with made the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl with 4 wins.
This Cowboys team's not doing
and they were somehow able to get a top 5 pick as well. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but
if you won the Super Bowl, you're not going to get a top 5 pick.
Is it not protected?
No,
it's based on record.
It is?
Not merit, unless it's a tiebreaker or something.
Wow. I always assumed the Super Bowl champion got the last pick.
Wait, is it not based? I thought it was based on record.
I guess I never really thought about it. Either way, I guess I'm thinking about the NBA. The NBA is based on record.
Hold on. Now I'm having... We might need to cut this.
We could look it up. But
it might be record unless you make the playoffs, and then at that point it goes off of.
Yeah, it goes off. Oh yeah, that's how it is.
I don't know.
That being said, we have a more exciting game. The next game, Packers and Texans. I actually think it's going to be a decent one.
Just want to apologize to the people for my incompetence.
That's our incompetence, but
I
it's the Packers Texans, which I think again the Texans are capable of putting up points.
Romeo Crennel leading them to victory.
Maybe.
Boy, this one is. I just want to say that I like the Packers. I did see the line here, and I think they're going to do better than the line. It says Packers 3.5. I would bet the Packers on that one. So, tight end Robert Tonyan and tackle David Bakhtiari, which I think most people know who he is. If you don't know, he is an extremely good tackle on the offensive line there. So, if he's gone, that's a big deal, especially that Rodgers got hit 1,000 times last week. Neither of them practiced so far this week, I believe. So that's not great. J.J. Watt was out on Wednesday. Jordan Akins, ankle and concussion, was sidelined Wednesday as well. So these guys might all play. I think it's looking like they might, but that'll be an interesting thing. Like I said, if Bakhtiari is out, that's really bad news for the Packers. I expect Aaron Jones to bounce back. I think Devontae Adams is going to be just fine. I think Rodgers is going to be just fine. I mean, nobody's scared of the Texans.
I think the Packers will win, but I think the Texans will cover the line.
Is this a good Brandon Cooks game?
He has had a couple of good ones in a row, hasn't he?
Yeah. Once I dropped him, he was playing great. So
I think it is, and it depends. If Will Fuller's out too, I think that helps him out a lot.
I think either way, Brandon Cooks has a pretty good game. I'm not saying 30 points, but I think he's going to be worth a start. And like you were saying,
especially,
yeah. I think I think everybody who you normally start in the Texans is going to be a good play.
I think David Johnson might even have a good game.
I do as well. I think the Packers defense is extremely overrated, just in terms of what we've seen. They're playing with the lead a lot, and we saw what happened when they had to play for real last week when people were running a normal offense at them, and it was not pretty.
And not only that, I mean, just look at the points allowed. We have Vikings 34, Lions 21, Saints 30. And then the Falcons 16.
It's very reminiscent of the Packers defense of old.
Yeah, they've given up 30 or more points, more than they've given up less than 15.
Yeah, not something you like to see there.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be Packers winning, but not by the line. We actually do have a good game coming up after that, though.
I think that will be an okay game.
No, I do too. We have the Seahawks and Cardinals. Battle of the Birds. 5-0 and 4-2.
I think you missed a game.
I did.
I don't recall us going over Jets Bills.
That's further down the list. No, it's not. Where's that? That was the top one.
Oh, you missed your favorite team's game.
Well, it's not going to be much of a game.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about here.
I'd say this is a good week to start Singletary, though.
But again, because it's the Jets?
Yeah, that's it. No, Singletary's not good. But, I mean, if you're going against the Jets, I assume the Bills are going to have a big lead and just run the ball out.
Now, I'm a little nervous. It sounds so stupid to say that I'm nervous about this. I'm a little nervous about the wide receivers on the Jets just because the Bills' defense is typically pretty good.
They haven't been lately.
Yeah, I mean, typically is probably not fair.
Yeah,
but
the past few years they have, not this year.
I think Jamison Crowder and Brashard Perriman are both decent plays this week.
I think Crowder especially. But, yeah, I don't want anything to do with the running backs because they're not going to be winning.
Oh, no, the only people I care about are
I want nothing
Perriman
with Chris Herndon.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with Joe Flacco.
Perriman and Crowder are all that you're wanting to mess with. I did see, though, that it looked like Darnold may be back this week.
It's not going to make a difference.
I think that would help the offense, though, for what that's worth.
It can't hurt it.
Just for what it's worth. How about on the Bills side of the ball? Are you starting any wide receivers outside of Diggs?
Yeah, I do Cole Beasley again.
Cole Beasley, you think he's a start? Oh, that's the Jets.
Yeah, well, it's just in general. He's been pretty nice.
Would you say that John Brown is a start in DFS? He's going to be really cheap.
Yeah, he'll have a bounce back. But yeah, I'm looking at Cole Beasley right now. Week 1, 9.8, so essentially 10 points. 212, 316, 412, 511, and last week was 15. So he's definitely been getting it done. He's surprisingly, he's the number 27 receiver, and he's only rostered in 30% of leagues.
He's number what receiver?
27.
Oh.
Averaging 13 points per game. So if you are listening to this,
well, he's Mr. No Upside guy.
He's more likely than not going to be available in your league. So I'd advise taking him.
Yeah. Yeah, the worst for me. Just anybody just start the whole offense.
Yeah.
I think this is big Josh Allen game, but
Oh yeah.
that's just me. Anything? Bills 7.5. No, Bills 8.5.
Bills 13.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they don't like the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I'm still gonna take the Bills. I think. Man,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing to
Yeah.
say.
Me too. Actually, if Darnold plays,
Oh,
Bills win, but not by 13. If
are you gonna put $1 on the Jets this week?
no.
You could win a lot
if
of money.
Flacco plays, then it's gonna be by more than 13.
That'd be a fun parlay. Just do like 5 Jets bets.
No, because there's no way you'd win. You'd be so lucky to hit one of them.
Well, I'm saying if you just put $5 on it for the Jets to win, for the Jets to cover, I'm just saying like you could parlay. You get some crazy odds.
But
out
it
of
would
that.
never happen.
Well,
Speaking of never happening,
Mm.
Cardinals being the Seahawks. You think it's possible?
No, I
know.
think Kyler Murray is pretty overrated this
Yeah.
year,
Mhm.
even though he's putting up.
Great.
It's essentially his rushing that's keeping him afloat. Him and Lamar. I know we always turn this
Legitimately,
into an
yeah.
opportunity to make fun of Lamar, but
he can't pass. So
neither of them are throwing very well. So I never feel like he's going to beat you through the air.
Kyler Murray, one game over 300 yards. Can you guess who it was against?
Well, I don't remember their. I mean,
The Jets.
Okay, I was going to say, if we just clowned the Jets. Yeah, I don't trust the Cardinals. I think Murray's going to have a good game. I think Hopkins will have a good game. You know, I mean, just the usuals.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see Kenyon Drake having a good game, or is this a Chase Edmonds game?
Oh, I'm not sure of Drake.
Would you put Chase Edmonds in the flex position, or just a very desperate situation?
I'd say desperate, but he gets enough catching where I think he's all right.
Okay. On the Seahawks side,
Seattle.
What I was going to say, so Metcalf, Lockett.
Seattle is number 7 against the run, I was going to say, which has me a little trepidatious to start either one of the backs.
Well, and they score. That stat might not be 100% fair because I'd imagine that they get up quick enough that people have to throw a lot, so they kind of
Probably. Jeez, Houston gives up almost 200 rushing yards a game.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is going to have some fun.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward game. And there was the news today that the Seahawks also brought Antonio Brown in for a workout, I believe
That's
it
what I
was.
hear, but he's not eligible until week 8.
Well, as sad as it is, it's week 7. So, I mean, we're almost at the point.
It's a couple weeks from now, yeah.
Well, when I said that in my head, I was like, oh, man, that's a ways off. And I'm like, oh, geez, week 8's next week. I
tried grabbing him in all my leagues, and he's rostering every one of them. And I saw that he's only rostered in like 20% of leagues at this point. I'm like, okay. So.
Well, yeah, but a lot of leagues, people aren't rabid.
Yeah.
But.
You think I could have gotten him in one, though.
Any Seahawks tight ends? Are you playing?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. So, yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. I'm going to say the Seahawks are projected 3.5.
Seahawks, 3.5.
Oh. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Me too.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy.
Now, this next one, this is going to be a bad game. Chiefs-Broncos. Obviously. It's another those kind
The Broncos just.
On the Chiefs side, it's kind of a common sense game. Like, obviously, you start your good players on there. Like, there's not much. Like, obviously, you start Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, the one question I ask is, will you start Le'Veon Bell?
Will I?
If you had him, would you start?
No.
Me neither.
I think
I have a feeling he's going to be like the Leonard Fournette in Tampa Bay.
I think it's definitely one that you're watching, but I don't think you're starting.
I agree.
It could be, though, like back when they first got LaShawn McCoy last year, when they actually used him, he was getting a decent amount of touches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think obviously Le'Veon Bell's a lot better than LaShawn McCoy at this point. So I would say that he's definitely, there's a chance that he could carve a nice role in this offense. So, are we saying next week am I maybe going to play him? Yeah. But this week, I think you could. That's just a lot of risk.
Yeah, it is.
And I know they didn't obviously have Edwards last year, so it's going to be weird next year. Well, probably. I guess they're because they have their starter coming back. But
do you want to guess LaShawn McCoy's rushing stats in the season?
He probably had like 300 rushing yards
this season.
2 fumbles. Oh, this season doesn't he have like 70 yards or something?
He has two carries for -2 yards.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact.
I for some reason thought he got in the box score for more than that. Maybe that was pass catching.
Yeah, he has 9 catches for 55 yards.
Okay.
But yeah, Chiefs, there's not much to say. I'm trying to think of the Broncos.
Well, which receivers would you start? Do you think Tyreek Hill bounces back first?
Yeah.
So Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Who after that? Or are you starting nobody after that?
Robinson if you're desperate.
Ooh, Robinson is our desperate play?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked all right last year.
Last year.
Or last week, excuse me. Yeah, he looked all right last year, too.
Broncos, I would say that I think Melvin Gordon might play this week. I don't think we're entirely sure on that yet, but I would play Melvin Gordon if he's back.
I think he's going to have a good game in the receiving game.
I would also play Phillip Lindsay. Tim Patrick, let me see if Tim Patrick's going to play. I honestly am not 100% sure on him. You thinking of anybody else?
Not really, no.
It looks like I don't have an update, but Noah Fant, he participated in practice with Bradley Chubb this week, so that's good for the Broncos.
This is a pretty generous line.
Well, I just want to. So on the Broncos side, do you know Jerry Jeudy? Who are you starting? Anybody besides the running backs? Maybe Noah Fant.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't like them much.
Okay. I'm going to say they have the Chiefs.
You're gonna guess too low.
7.5.
9.5.
9.5.
Still taking the Chiefs.
Chiefs win. Broncos, I think, cover that.
Ooh.
I know. Look at that. Man, we got a couple good games left.
This upcoming one is very interesting. Niners and Patriots.
I thought you were going to say Jags and Chargers. I'm like, no, it's not.
There's nothing interesting about
Okay.
that.
On the Niners side of the ball, I think Garoppolo might actually have an okay game.
Yeah.
I think Mostert has a very nice game, of course.
If he plays, I think he's supposed to.
Well, he played last game, so I'd expect
He left with an injury, though.
Oh, okay. Must have missed that one.
It was a hamstring.
Ooh, one of our favorite injuries.
Yeah,
People always come back well from those.
Yeah, it's great.
How about the receiving options? Where are you at on the receiving options?
I don't trust anybody on the Niners.
Nobody.
I mean,
Do you trust Debo?
no, but I'd probably end up playing him.
Is he the only one? Obviously, we don't even need to start talking about Kittle.
Yeah,
But
not Ayuk. I don't trust Ayuk.
I think he might be. I don't want to call him the most trustable, but I think probably him and Sam Miller.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a weird situation going on back there. Patriots, I'm not starting any running back because Cam Newton is the running back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not touching anybody on the Patriots outside of Cam Newton, and I feel dirty playing Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. This is actually an interesting line.
Dwayne Harris still watching though.
This is a very interesting line, and I will be betting on it.
I think you have to have the Niners favored at this point because they're getting players back.
New
I would say
England-
like Niners by 1.5.
New England by 2. Yeah, we're going with Niners every day of the year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think the Niners win this one.
Yeah, me too. There you have it, people. Vote. Wow. Bet on that game. Bet
Yeah,
the
so many
Niners.
commercials, so many voting commercials.
Yeah, bet the Niners on this one. Speaking of interesting games, though, the Bucks against the Raiders. Raiders
I
are.
thought you were gonna say Jags Chargers.
No.
I'm waiting on that one.
Oh, I skipped it. Speaking of not interesting games, we
Ooh.
have the Jags Chargers.
Well, I mean, each team has one win, so this is a very intriguing matchup.
The line says otherwise.
Chargers are gonna win this game. Oh boy. What are you expecting from Josh Kelly? Your boy, Josh Kelly.
Oh, nothing.
No.
Nothing. That dude's terrible.
Oh.
Well, let me pull up the stats. 'Cause
Oh, no.
They are horrible.
You don't. Oh, when Brandon pulls out the stats,
We're
that's
pulling
never
out
good.
the stats. Let's see. Joshua Kelly.
Oh no.
Stats. All right. So, that game we watched last time, who are they playing? The Saints. They're playing the Saints. And it was painful because every single time they gave him the ball, it was burning it down. Like,
Yeah, he was.
like, let's just burn it down. All right, so
Not
he's
great.
26th in carries, 40th in yards. So that just shows his efficiency right there. In October alone, he's averaging, which we're 21 days into, he's averaging 1.8 yards per carry. Not acceptable. On the season, he's averaging 3.2. And he only has 1 touchdown. So he's terrible. I'd drop him if I had him.
Oh.
And if I saw him on free agency, I'd pick him up just to drop him. Because Justin
that's a
Jackson
spite
is
move.
such a better player. And, yeah, if they commit to giving Jackson the ball, then he's a good start, I think. I think Gardner Minshew is a fine start. I don't think the Chargers defense is that great. So I think
Is Robinson going to bounce back?
Yeah.
I think Robinson does bounce back.
Absolutely. I think he bounces back. I think Chark bounces back. Maybe even LaVisca.
So give me the order of players that you are playing on the and are of importance or significance
On Jacksonville, honestly,
Jacksonville side of the ball.
I'd start their three main receivers and Minshew.
So rank them 1 to 3.
One is either Cole or Chark. That's 1 and 2 is Cole and Chark in either order. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And LaVisca's number 3.
I agree.
And Robinson's a start for me, with Minshew being a start as well.
Oh, he had 1 touchdown against the Lions.
He still put up like 22 points.
1 touchdown.
He had a rushing touchdown too.
I'm not part of the Minshew mania.
Fair enough.
You well know.
The Chargers, get Justin Jackson, Herbert if I'm desperate, and Hunter Henry, and probably Keenan Allen if he plays. If he doesn't play, then Mike Williams.
Yeah, I think Mike Williams can even play with Keenan Allen.
Depending on your situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I do like Hunter Henry as well. This is going to be a game where start all your Chargers, essentially. I'm going to pick Chargers 2.5.
Justin Herbert, fun fact, averaging 23 fantasy points per game.
Chargers 2.5?
It is Chargers by 8.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I can't believe that.
Herbert's 0-4.
Oh, no. I honestly think the Jags have a big shot at winning this.
Jeez.
So I assume the with a -8, the odds will be roughly 2 to 3 to 1. And at 2 to 1 and 3 to 1 odds, I'd take the Jaguars on this bet every day.
That seems very ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't have the money line up at
Chargers win, but they don't win by that much.
If the Jags are plus 200 or better, I'm betting on that. Which I assume they will be. I'm taking the Jags.
I am. Well, yeah, I am as well. But Chargers win.
Bucks Raiders. A super overrated team versus a very underrated team.
Who's the overrated team?
I think the Bucks are.
I think the Bucks are actually kind of clicking. I
don't know, because they show up sometimes and they lose to the Bears.
I think they just have a lot of kinks. Plus, they have a lot of early penalties. I don't know. It's hard for me to trust them. The Packers played horrendously, but I will give full credit to Tampa manhandled them.
Oh, yeah.
It was very tough to watch.
That game also kind of seemed like the Bills Tennessee game, though, where like nothing went right for one team, where it's like, well, if they played again, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the Packers' weakness does tend to be we don't handle like a very good pass rush overly well, so I don't know if that has to play into it. A story to watch is, didn't the entire O-line get sent home today for the Raiders? I think their center tested positive for COVID.
If their whole O-line is gone,
that's a problem. I'm pretty sure they sent the whole offensive line.
Let's just right now assume both teams are.
So I do have a little. So it says that the Raiders needed to place starting left tackle, not center, Trent Brown on the COVID list and send all 5 starting offensive linemen home because they were in close contact with Brown.
Oh, Lord.
So that is something to keep.
Assuming that that they all play or like all but one plays, I do like Darren Waller. Justin Jackson, obviously you drafted him. I think efficiency-wise he's been a little bit of a disappointment, but he's going against a strong defense, but you drafted him in the second round, so you have to play your second-round pick.
What if their whole offensive line doesn't play? Do they just play the second string offensive line?
Forfeit. Probably a bunch of tight ends
especially against the Bucks.
Ugh.
That'd be the number 1 defense, easy.
Oh yeah, they're probably one of the top ones, anyways. This week I like Derek Carr. This whole season.
I don't know if I do.
Well, I mean, there's 4 teams without.
The Buccaneers look pretty good.
The thing is, though, the Dolphins are out. A lot of people were starting Fitz.
Well, no, now they're not.
We
didn't mention, but because they don't play this week.
They were, though, yeah.
Tua's starting.
The Colts, a lot of people are playing Rivers. The Ravens are on bye. A lot of people are playing him.
Who was playing Phillip Rivers? Show me who was playing Phillip Rivers, because I'm going to show you nobody. Nobody's playing Phillip Rivers.
Nobody?
Look at his own percentage.
Oh, shoot. I would like to rescind that fact.
Phillip Rivers.
Damn, Phillip Rivers is sucking. Okay, never mind.
They thought he was going to get benched.
He should, looking at these numbers. Wow. Okay, so I guess a lot of people some people are starting Fitz. A lot of people were starting Lamar Jackson.
Nobody is starting Fitz now.
That's 2 quarterbacks gone, though, who usually are started. So maybe if you're desperate, you could swing in there and grab Derek Carr is what I was trying to say.
Ooh,
but
I would not do it this week.
I think we have a big game out of Darren Waller just because he's very good at football. The Bucks,
always a good game for Darren Waller.
Again, the Bucks. I don't like Mike Jackson. Well, I don't like Michael Jackson, but I don't like Mike Evans either. I don't like him at all. And Chris Godwin needs to step up too, but he's
their
not.
offense is just weird.
Yeah, like they'll score 38 points, and Chris Godwin won't do anything. And if you couldn't tell, I own him. So
now, what are your opinions on Robert Gronkowski?
You know what?
Don't tell me you're going to say you have to like playing him.
I'm going to say it. Start him this week.
Oh no!
I'm going to say it.
Oh no!
And I'm buying the snake oil. I'm buying the snake oil right now. Buying the Wolf tickets.
6 weeks.
Well, I mean,
you're buying the Wolf's tickets?
Wolf tickets. It's an old figure of speech.
From what?
Snake oil and Wolf tickets.
I've never heard Wolf tickets.
Well, whatever. But
where did you hear that from?
Let me Google it.
I'm just saying, I've never in my life heard that reference.
Wolf tickets meaning. Here it is right here. Let me click on it.
I feel like this is something like someone's great grandfather would say.
Okay, so I was half right. It's what
a weird thing to be half right about.
It's an empty threat. So it's something that like I'm buying a scam. So an empty threat's a scam. You're saying you're gonna give something.
That's like the world's biggest spin zone.
So
that's the biggest stretch I've ever seen.
Speaking of spin zones, Rob Gronkowski
went
out and had 8.2 and followed up with an 18.8. Now I can see him being around the 8 to 10 range again. So if you're desperate, I go for Rob.
Oh,
Gronkowski.
so we're desperate at this point?
A lot of people at the tight end position.
Is he a top 10 play
for tight end?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because if you say yes, that's not a desperation play.
He's boom or bust. So he has potential to be one.
Oh.
But I
think you could chalk this up to more of a slow start.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I think it also helps that what's his name's gone. We spent too much time talking about a relatively irrelevant tight end. I'm still saying start him.
He's put up a combined. He's averaging 15 points through the last 2 weeks.
Good for him.
Well, I'm saying, is that irrelevant?
Well, I mean, for 1/3 of the season,
it's not like we're arguing about Jay Sternberger here.
I mean, he beats the other options. I'm looking at unrostered tight ends right now in this league. We have Chris Herndon.
Would you rather have him or Hayden Hurst?
Yeah, would I rather have garbage?
No, that's a real question.
Garbage?
I think Hayden Hurst is top 12.
Hayden Hurst is top 12.
The tight end scene has been disgusting.
Oh, boy. Actually, I have one better. I'd start Darren Fells over either one of them. And he is not owned in 94% of leagues, but he does average almost 10 points per game.
Darren Fells?
Yeah.
Is this an Aiken back this week? I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know about that.
Actually, no, I wouldn't. I'd start Gronk this week. I'm thinking about it. I'm starting Gronk.
So give us a 10-second look. Where does he rank this week for tight ends? Is he top 8?
So Kelsey, no. Kittle, no. Waller, no. Johnny Smith, no. Hunter Henry, no.
I think you make an argument he'd be better than Johnny Smith.
Hockenson, probably not. You know, he's top 10. Whatever, he's top 10.
I think he's better than Hockenson. Hockenson
No.
gets didn't he have 2 catches and a touchdown this week? I mean, the touchdown saved you. Hawkinson's not doing that much.
He has 3 touchdowns in 5 games. He's a red zone threat.
No, that's fair enough. But I would say that once Gronk got used, he's a red zone threat now too.
We've talked way too long about him.
These are the kind of things that people need to know about. They don't tune in for you to say start Russell Wilson.
I'm still saying start Gronk this week. You heard it here first. Let me look at percent started.
It's gonna go way up.
Okay, well it's percent rostered on here, which is 77% of people have rostered him.
You're gonna give him. I'm trying to get you to full endorse him so that when he doesn't do anything this
Hell
week,
no,
I'm
not gonna full
I
endorse
can't
him.
believe.
No, because I expect nothing out of him.
I actually think he's gonna be kind of good going forward.
The line. What do you think the line is?
I might have just looked at it. I think I saw it was Bucks 3.
3.5.
Okay.
Focus.
I'm
taking the Raiders.
I'm taking the Bucks. Taking the Bucks.
Fair enough. Speaking of lines,
this might be a good thing to. Now I try to find loopholes and things, so now might be a good time to find props. That if the if the offensive line were to like maybe bet how many sacks they're gonna get.
Oh yeah, because the
in-
whole line's gone.
Just in case the whole line's gone,
You can get it in here at the current odds. Yeah, that's smart.
might not be a bad look.
Monday night, an interesting game, but the line doesn't think so. Bears at 5-1 going against the Rams 4-2.
What a dumpster fire!
Rams really the tale of two teams.
I don't know who to believe. I don't know who's gonna win.
You had two teams with horrible running games, inconsistent quarterback play, and relatively good defenses.
They're literally the same team, except I think the Rams are better.
We starting Cooper Kupp.
I've
this
never
week.
thought about this before. They literally are the same team.
Yeah, they can't run the ball. They're okay at defense. They can't pass the ball half the time.
But when they can, they put up a lot of.
Yeah, when they can do well, they do.
I mean, I like the Rams here. I think. Is this a Jared Goff start?
You went after last week, no.
Obviously, you're going Cooper Kupp.
I got burned
You're
hard
going Robert Woods. You're
by
going.
Jared Goff last week.
I guess maybe we'll say. Let's ask it in the reverse. Who aren't you starting on the Rams that maybe you normally might?
Jared Goff.
Okay.
I'm not starting Higbee because he hasn't done anything lately.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not starting Malcolm Brown.
Henderson's the only one you're looking at,
Thinking about starting. And I don't want to start Robert Woods, but I probably would anyways. Because even though he's been doing well, I feel like for him he's just been doing too well, and he's got to come down.
He's good.
What
does that even mean?
Well, the problem is right now
If he's doing well and Jared Goff sucks.
he has 3 receiving touchdowns. That's his career high.
Well, yeah, he's normally a yards guy.
But he hasn't been able to do that. So I like him, or I'll start him, but I don't like him. And Cooper Kupp, yeah, you know what, why not? He had a really bad drop last week, and he hasn't been doing much. But you can only go up from here. He had, 3 catches for 11 yards last week? You can't do worse than that.
On the flip side, Allen Robinson, I think he's going to be fine. Jimmy Graham, I think he's going to have a better game. Second on the team in targets last week.
Montgomery's going to have a good game in the air. He's not going to do anything on the ground.
Starting Montgomery, but that dude is terrible.
He's horrible.
Of all the teams, like this is, if I'm the Bears, I'm mad I didn't get Le'Veon.
Yeah, like, especially they're 5-1. So it's like, hey, maybe if we could, and believe me, this is coming from a guy who thinks Le'Veon Bell sucks. Like,
this is coming from a guy who went at the same school as David Johnson when he attended.
yeah, I ran into him a few times. But that being
I was
said,
referring to myself, but that's fair enough.
well, that being said,
I think I was there when he was. He's pretty young.
I called him Le'Veon Bum for the longest time, and he's still twice as good.
Montgomery is probably one of the worst running backs I've ever seen. Who has like the position he has?
Yeah, like his numbers is
he any worse than? Is he better than Trent Richardson?
His efficiency numbers don't look god awful this year, and that is because
You mean 19 for 58 on 3.1 yards a carry?
he's at 3.1 this season.
No, this week. Sorry.
Oh.
Against that
I guess never mind.
incredible
Yep,
Panthers defense.
He's at 3.7. Okay, they do look bad, but it was because week 1 and 2 he played the Lions and the Chargers, who literally couldn't stop a nosebleed. And everyone's like, "Whoa, look! Looks like Montgomery's back." No, he's not. He's just playing the two worst teams he'll play defensively. When he plays any defense with a pulse, dude gets like 1 yard a carry.
Well, especially I think of the Rams as typically being an okay rush stopper with Donald and everybody back there.
Yeah, you're gonna get like 3 points out of Montgomery from the rush. Everything he gets from the passing game. So I still don't like him, and I'd be very cautious about
Are
starting.
you starting Nick Foles this week?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. The line does not think this is going to be a close game.
Oh, it doesn't.
Do you have a guess for it?
It's got to be Rams 4.5.
Rams by 6.
Rams are going to win, but I'm half tempted. I think they're going to win. The Rams are. I'd probably take the Bears though on the money line.
I'm taking Bears straight up.
Oof.
Taking Bears straight up.
I do think that line is really
Disrespectful.
not fair,
No.
given how both teams are do a weekly Jekyll and Hyde routine.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to have another rough week for the Rams. I don't know why. But they just haven't been clicking offensively.
Jared Goff, I just don't think it's that good. He's got a big arm.
He's
but
so weird. Like 1 week you'll be like, wow, that was an MVP like performance. And then the next week you're like, who the hell is this guy? Like who is this? It's like those, like we're watching Drew Lock. Like the couple plays we've seen Drew Lock throws some of the worst picks I've ever seen. It's like, how did this guy even get on the field? Except for
it's bad.
Except for Goff will sometimes hit a good throw, unlike Drew Lock. But that's that.
All right. Well, any final thoughts? on the Week 7 preview.
No, I don't think so. I'm trying to look up Goff and see where he ranks real quick. Yeah, he's I guess the 12th ranked, averaging 20 points a week. It doesn't feel like it.
He just probably bouncy balls between 28, 12,
We have
28,
11, 23, 27, 12, 25, 15, and the 15 was saved by garbage time last week with 198 yards.
There is nothing worse, by the way, side note, than when your quarterback scores under 13. I mean, really, it's 15, but like under 13 points is like so infuriating.
I think it was 4 years ago, and I only remember this because it was so bad. I started Kirk Cousins. He threw a pick to start the game, and they benched him. He ended with -2.
Oof.
Yeah, and that was the week where a 10-man league I scored, I think, 34 points.
That happened to me a year or two ago where I was starting somebody because Roethlisberger was hurt, and I think they gave me 3 points. And Roethlisberger, the starter who played for Roethlisberger, got hurt. So Roethlisberger came in, dropped 20 as off the bench, and my starter got like 3, and I was just so mad.
I hate seeing that.
Where does the quarterback scoring under 12 rank for you in terms of you hate to see it for fantasy?
Under 12, that's going to be like a 2 out of 10.
So if we were to, how about we'll rank these things? Defense scoring -2, kicker scoring 1, quarterback scoring under 12. Rank your most angry at the...
Oh, defense, I don't care. Because like if you get 5 points out of a defense this year, that's pretty good.
So where are you ranking
with
them?
-1 with the defense, it's only a 6-point difference. It's like, yeah, you can live with that. But if you look at a kicker you'd want around 10. That's a 9-point difference. So the defense is less important than that. But quarterback, I'd say 25.
Which one would you be like, if you lost because of that specific thing, what would you be more mad with, like a
kicker?
Okay.
Yeah, because with kickers, one is horrendous, whereas a quarterback, 12 is really bad, but you're just like, well, whatever.
One final stupid question before we let the viewers go. Well, I guess 2 more. Would you rather lose because the other person's kicker drops a 20-point game on you?
I hate that so
Or
much.
because the other person's quarterback drops a 40-point game on you? Which one would you
'cause
rather lose
I could
to?
respect a 40-point quarterback.
Okay.
Because if you score 40 points as a quarterback, you are balling. If you score 20 points as a kicker, you probably just had a bunch of opportunities.
20 points out of the kicker or 20 points out of the defense? Which one are you more upset by?
Defense.
Okay.
Yeah, because at that point, it's not supposed to do that. Like a kicker's supposed to get around 10. Defense is supposed to get around 5.
Okay. No, I don't know why I'm just asking these stupid questions. But where can the good people find us? Maybe we'll leave the website out for now since it has been updated in 3 weeks.
You can find us on our website, but I'm not going to tell you where it is. But if you're watching this on YouTube, first off, why haven't you subscribed? And second off, click that like button.
Yeah, you really hurt our feelings.
Like, my feelings are hurt right now. With that being said, it would also make my day if you go and give us a listen on Suit Yourself Pod. Suit Yourself Podcast.
Oh, no.
On Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Suit Yourself Podcast has a great hand-drawn logo, which I did myself, and I think it looks fantastic. And if you want to see what it looks like, if you're watching this on YouTube, go look us up, and you can see it yourself.
Well, I mean, it's our profile picture.
Yeah, or you can just look at the profile picture. Either way. But yeah, get that subscribe, leave a like, and have a blessed day.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us for this week's episode, the Week 7 preview.
Episode 12?
No, not episode 12. We will be back maybe next Monday, next Monday, with a recap of Week 7. So we're looking forward to that. Everyone have a great evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you're at. And we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
I keep winking at the wrong camera.